yesterday reauthorized funding for Facebook, the massive online surveillance program run by the CIA. According to Department of Homeland Security reports, Facebook has replaced almost every other CIA information gathering program since it was launched in 2004.
After years of secretly monitoring the public, we were astounded so many people would willingly publicize where they live, their religious and political views, an alphabetized list of all their friends' personal email addresses, phone numbers, hundreds of photos of themselves, and even status updates about what they were doing moment to moment. It is truly a dream come true for the CIA.
Much of the credit belongs to CIA agent Mark Zuckerberg, who runs the day-to-day Facebook operation for the agency. The decorated agent, codenamed the Overlord, was recently awarded the prestigious Medal of Intelligence Commendation for his work with the Facebook program, which he has called, quote, the single most powerful tool for population control ever created. Among the biggest successes of the Facebook program is Operation Farmville, which the CIA credits with pacifying as many as 85 million people after unemployment rates rose dramatically. Other features, such as the suggested friends window, have been instrumental in allowing government agents to infiltrate deeper into the friend networks of suspected dissidents. For some expert analysis now on the story, let's check in with the Fact Zone's first responders. Jason, you have written extensively about the Facebook program. Why is it so effective?
Well, one of the key reasons is that the CIA has been so thorough in convincing the nation that constantly sharing information about everything that you're doing is somehow desirable instead of deeply unsettling.
Yeah. You know, the critics are saying that with the national debt being so high, is this really the time to be spending even more money on spy programs?
Well, actually, the Facebook program saves the CIA money.
That's right.
Like the Maps application, where you list every place that you've been, whether it's the state or a country. Or...
Oh, right, with the little pins to show where you visited. Yeah,
yes,
I like that.
That kind of information would have taken the CIA months of going through hotel receipts and plane tickets to figure it all out. The manpower that Facebook saves is huge.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the calendar feature even lets the CIA know where you're going to be in advance. So that's
right. So now if they want to pick you up for questioning, all they have to do is see which events you RSVP'd yes to and then send their agents to be waiting for you.
That's how they got my brother.
Yeah, right. So effective. But guys, with all the focus on the Facebook program, is it taking away from some of the other CIA programs like the Twitter initiative?
Yeah, the funding for that should be cut entirely.
Right, 400 billion tweets and not one useful bit of data was ever transmitted.
Oh, that's true. Now, is this trend of social network information gathering dangerous? I mean, just last week, the New York Times revealed that Al-Qaeda has designed Foursquare to identify popular locations for bombing.
Actually, Brooke, that's been discredited as any kind of real threat. The people that use that site are people that no one would mind seeing bombed anyway.
Yeah,
So.
really, the only thing the CIA has to be concerned about is people losing interest in Facebook and moving on to a new social network site, like the Chinese site Wanbi.
I love
Are you guys on Wanbi?
Oh my God,
Yeah.
it's so much more fun than Facebook.
It is great.
I love that one.
I love that you can earn friend points the more state secrets that you post. You know, I've got a lot of contacts in the State Department. You know, I think I could really rack them up.
You should post them up.
I should.
All right, first responders, thank you so much as always. You know, I'm, of course, a big fan of any social networking site. It allows me to interact with my fans without having to see...
In the not too distant future, even your dishwasher could be spying on you, because while technology aims to make life easier, it could also give Big Brother a peephole into the lives of almost anyone. RT's Marina Portnaya tracks the trend from New York.
All right, Howard Marks, where are you?
10 years ago, biometrics, robotic spies, and state surveillance were the makings of a sci-fi flick starring Tom Cruise.
Set up a perimeter and tell them we're en route.
Today, many scenes from the Hollywood blockbuster Minority Report have arguably become an American reality, with life ominously imitating art.
You're walking down the street, and the camera that takes a picture of you is able to compare it through facial mapping, is able to compare it to your driver's license photo or some other photo, maybe a mugshot, maybe a surveillance photo, and say, all right, Marina was on the corner of 42nd and 8th at 3 o'clock last Saturday.
In addition to facial recognition, New York City's police department is just one of many law enforcement agencies that also requires citizens to undergo an iris scan before being released from police custody. In the past 6 months, iris scans have been taken from hundreds of Occupy Wall Street activists placed under arrest, like Christina Gonzalez.
Yeah, they really don't tell you why. They just say it's another form of identification, and it's really creepy to have someone holding up some machine to your face and you have no idea not only the health effects of it, but what they're actually using, what their larger purpose of using it is for.
Iris scans are like a high-tech fingerprint, but much faster. officials can quickly identify anyone whose unique scan is on the database. The technology is becoming increasingly useful as a tracking tool in the U.S. In the virtual world of tweets, Facebook posts, and search engines, every internet user is defined by a data footprint. If you think anonymous comments and blogs are protected, think again. Through the use of what's called forensic linguistics, U.S. investigators can now uncover whose fingers are behind every single keystroke.
If I have a large enough sample of your writing and your posting, I can take it and compare it. I can input it into a database and send that database a bot out using that information, finding every other post you ever did.
The digital data trail of every American will soon be connected to a massive building in Utah. A $2 billion data center is reportedly being constructed for the U.S. National Security Agency. The complex will allegedly be able to collect, analyze, and store all forms of personal communication, including online purchases, cell calls, Google searches, and yes, private messages.
So they're actually looking at de-encrypting all of the data that comes out. So, for example, when you use Gmail, all your emails are encrypted by default. Google has given you this service and has allowed you to say, my communications are protected. Now, the NSA Center is designed around building systems that will de-encrypt that data and remove any protection that you can put onto it.
Earlier this month, CIA Director David Petraeus painted a picture of America's dystopian freefall when describing the emergence of the Internet of Things. The phrase refers to an increasing amount of personal information Washington will eventually be able to obtain once all home electronics are wired to a network. U.S. intelligence officials estimate that by 2020, up to 100 billion ordinary devices, such as refrigerators and dishwashers, could be wired up to the internet, just the way PCs and cell phones are now. That bottomless pit of data could allow Big Brother to monitor virtually anything it wants. Even the CIA director says the very idea of secrecy will change forever. Marina Portnaya, RT, New York.